Sister invites my family to her wedding, but when we show up, there's a special card for my son. Some invitations come with strings so sharp they cut before you see them. When my sister Claire sent us a wedding invite, it felt like a rare olive branch after years of silence. But the card waiting for my son at her ceremony, that was no gift, it was a grenade. I'm Emily, a 38-year-old mom who spent the last decade trying to keep my family's fragile peace intact. My husband, Tom, is the steady type, a high school history teacher who believes in second chances. Our son, Liam, is 8, with his father's kind eyes and a heart that trusts too easily. Claire, my older sister by 4 years, has always been the opposite, sharp-tongued, ambitious, and fiercely competitive. Growing up, she was the golden child, the one who got the bigger room, the louder applause, the better everything. I was the quiet one, content with my books and small victories. But Claire, she needed to win, always, even if it meant stepping over me to do it. Our falling out started 10 years ago, when I got pregnant with Liam. Claire, then engaged to her first fiancé, made it clear she thought I was throwing my life away by starting a family so young. She'd always seen my choices as lesser my modest career as a librarian, my marriage to Tom, who she called boringly predictable. Her words stung, but I swallowed them, hoping time would soften her edges. It didn't. When her engagement fell apart, she blamed me, bizarrely claiming my perfect little life made her fiancé question her. We hadn't spoken since, until that cream-colored envelope arrived, sealed with a wax stamp and her elegant script. "You're invited to celebrate our love." I should have known better. Claire didn't do apologies, and she didn't do forgiveness. But Tom, ever the optimist, saw it as a chance to mend things. "She's your sister." Maybe she's changed. Liam was thrilled, already imagining himself in a tiny suit, charming the guests. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We RSVP'd, bought new outfits, and drove 3 hours to the picturesque vineyard where Claire was marrying her new fiancé, a wealthy tech entrepreneur named Marcus. The venue was stunning, rows of grapevines under a golden September sky, white roses draped over every surface, and a string quartet playing softly. Claire, radiant in her designer gown, greeted us with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "So glad you could make it," she said, her voice syrupy. Marcus, charming and polished, shook our hands warmly, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The other guests, Claire's new circle of elite friends, cast curious glances our way, whispering behind their champagne flutes. I brushed it off as nerves. Weddings are emotional. Right. We took our seats near the front, Liam fidgeting with his tie, Tom squeezing my hand reassuringly. The ceremony began, and Claire was every bit the perfect bride, graceful, poised, her vows dripping with rehearsed sincerity. But as the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, a young woman in a crisp server's uniform approached our row. She handed me a small, embossed card with Liam's name written in Claire's unmistakable handwriting. "From the bride," she whispered, then slipped away. I opened it, expecting a sweet note, maybe a gesture to make Liam feel special. Instead, my stomach dropped. The card read, "To Liam, my favorite nephew. Sorry you're not in the family photos today. Maybe next time, if your mom learns to share the spotlight. Love, Aunt Claire." A cold sweat broke out on my neck. Tom leaned over, his face clouding as he read it. "What the hell is this?" he muttered. Liam, oblivious, was busy counting the petals on a nearby rose. My heart pounded as memories flooded back Claire's subtle jabs, her need to always be the center of attention. This wasn't just a petty dig. It was a calculated move to humiliate me, to drag our old wounds into her perfect day. I scanned the crowd, noticing more eyes on us, some guests smirking, others looking away awkwardly. Had Claire shared her version of our history with them, painted me as the villain in her story? The card trembled in my hand as anger surged, hot and sharp. She'd invited us here not to reconcile, but to settle a score. I wanted to storm out, to shield Liam from whatever game Claire was playing, but Tom's hand on my arm steadied me. "Don't let her win," he whispered. "Not like this." He was right, running would only give her the satisfaction she craved. So I stayed, forcing a smile as Liam tugged at my sleeve, asking for cake. But inside, I was seething, piecing together the real reason we were here. Claire hadn't changed. She just found a new stage for her old grudges. As the reception began, the tension grew thicker. Claire made her rounds, laughing too loudly, her eyes darting to me every few minutes. I noticed the photographer lingering near us, snapping candid shots, his lens trained on Liam more than once. My unease deepened when Marcus approached, his charm replaced by a nervous edge. "Emily, can we talk?" he asked quietly, gesturing toward a secluded corner of the vineyard. I followed, leaving Tom and Liam at the table. Marcus's face was tight, his hands fidgeting with his cufflinks. "I didn't know about the card until this morning," he said, his voice low. "Claire said it was a joke, but I think she planned this. All of it." He explained how Claire had spent weeks obsessing over our family, claiming I'd stolen her chance at happiness years ago. She told Marcus and her friends a twisted story that my pregnancy had overshadowed her engagement, that I'd flaunted my family to make her feel small. None of it was true, but Claire believed her own narrative. The card for Liam was her way of rewriting history, of making me the outsider at her wedding. I felt sick, realizing the depth of her resentment. "Why didn't you stop her?" I asked, my voice shaking. Marcus looked away, ashamed. "I thought she'd let it go. I didn't know she'd go this far." He revealed that Claire had instructed the photographer to capture our reactions to the card, hoping to immortalize my humiliation in her wedding album. The family photos line wasn't a mistake, it was a taunt, a way to exclude Liam while pretending it was my fault. The rage I'd been holding back erupted. I marched back to the reception, the card crumpled in my fist. Claire was at the center of the dance floor, basking in attention, when I stepped forward. The music faded as guests turned to watch. "Claire," I said, my voice steady but loud enough to carry, "you invited us here to play your game, but I'm done." I held up the card, letting the crowd see it. "You wrote this for my son, my 8-year-old son. Is this who you are now?" Her face froze, the perfect bride mask slipping. It was a joke. "Emily," she stammered, but her voice wavered. The guests shifted uncomfortably, their whispers turning to murmurs of shock. I didn't stop. "You've spent years blaming me for your unhappiness, but this targeting my kid? That's low, even for you." I tossed the card at her feet, the weight of a decade's worth of hurt behind it. Liam, now at my side, looked confused but clung to my hand. Tom stood beside me, his quiet strength anchoring us both. Claire's eyes darted to Marcus, who stood frozen, his silence damning. Her friends, who'd been so quick to smirk earlier, now looked away, embarrassed. The photographer lowered his camera, clearly unsure what to do. For the first time, Claire had no comeback, no way to spin this in her favor. The crowd's judgment was palpable, and I saw her shrink under it, her perfect day unraveling. I turned to leave, Liam's hand in mine, Tom at my side. But before we walked away, I faced her one last time. "You're my sister, Claire. I wanted to believe you changed, but this is your story now, not mine." We left the vineyard, the music starting up again behind us, but it felt hollow, like a performance no one believed in anymore. In the car, Liam asked why Aunt Claire was mad. I hugged him close, searching for words. "Sometimes people hold on to hurt instead of letting it go," I said, "but we don't have to carry it for them." Tom squeezed my shoulder, and for the first time in years, I felt free of Claire's shadow. Weeks later, I heard from a cousin that Claire's marriage was already strained. Marcus, shaken by her cruelty, had started questioning her character. Her friends, once loyal, distanced themselves after the wedding, uncomfortable with the truth they'd witnessed. Claire tried reaching out once, a half-hearted text claiming she didn't mean it. I didn't respond. Some bridges burned for a reason. That card, though, stayed with me not as a wound, but as a reminder. Family isn't just blood. It's the people who choose love over resentment, who protect instead of hurt. I framed a photo from that day, not of Claire's wedding, but of Liam, Tom, and me, laughing in the car on the way home, free at last. What do you think? Did Claire get what she deserved? Or should I have handled it differently? Share your thoughts below.